We spent the past day Pokemoning, right?
Pokemoning. Well,
Pokemon.
maybe not the whole day.
Pokemoning.
We kind of spent like our evening doing
Pokemoning.
Pecan.
Pocket monstering.
Yeah, Victor and I are in the same place right now. We're on, as vacation place, right?
Yep, we're in the Pocono Mountains.
Yeah, and there are Pokespots. There are Pokemon hot spots.
There are not many Pokestops, but there are a bunch of gyms, and there are a bunch of Pokemon.
And the problem with that is that when you get, when there's a lot to catch, when you gotta catch them all, you gotta waste all your balls, right?
Yep, and then they're all gone.
And I'm in Philadelphia, so there's Pokestops everywhere. So I currently have too many items and not enough Pokemon.
Right, so
Once
we
they
were
implement trading, we can fix this problem.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that'll solve everything. But yeah, Victor ran out of Pokeballs right as a Growlithe appeared.
Which I don't have in my Pokedex yet.
And so my reaction to him was we were about to close, and he's like, "Oh man, no, I'm out of Pokeballs." Oh well. And I'm like, "Just close the app. just close the app. Just close the app."
Why? What's the matter? Did something appear?
No, just you're not gonna play anymore. Let's just close the app.
And then I saw him just sitting there, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah. So after a few more glasses of rum, he's probably gonna buy Pokeballs.
Look, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a little bit of rum and coke, rum and soda, which we decided to do in honor of our genre for the week, which we'll get to. We figured we would reflect a little bit on Pokemon Go, since that seems to be the thing everyone's talking about right now. And in case anyone was worried, all three of us here at GenreBot do definitely play Pokemon Go. Some of us are.
Why would they be worried about that? They'd probably be worried if we are playing.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh.
We're obviously geeks.
Yeah.
So of course we do.
You see, it's hot to play right now, but in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
it's gonna be lame
we post
again.
our episodes about 2 weeks apart. So.
I strive to be like a sitcom geek, not like a sitcom nerd where it's like I have buck teeth and a pocket protector.
Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, there is nuance there nowadays.
Speaking of that, I've been using this thing called Pokevision, which is a website that uses Pokemon Go's data to show you where Pokemon are spawning anywhere in the world.
Or you can get Niantic's other game.
Yeah.
They had a game that they came out with before Pokemon Go.
Ingress.
Ingress. And
if you're feeling really risky, you could head out on the 7 Seas and steal those apps.
Yeah.
Even though they're free.
Close enough to a segue. We've been going for 5 minutes. Woo!
What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Way hey, and up she rises. Way hey, and up she rises. Way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober early in the morning. Way hey, and up she rises. Way hey, and up she rises. Way hey, and up she rises early in the morning.
Welcome to GenreBot, the group writing machine. This is the show where we head out on those 7 seas, find a genre, and we add our 3 characters and make a story, a high seas adventure of all sorts. I'm Adam.
And I'm Victor Me Timbers.
And I am Andrew Keelhaul. I don't know. Do you know what keel hauling is, though?
You
Teach us.
You tie like a rope to a guy's arm and a rope to the guy's other arm, and you throw them off the bow of the ship, and you take 2 guys to run the length of the ship holding on to the rope and just drag them along the keel, and it's full of barnacles and wood and stuff, and he drowns and dies a lot.
so it's like quartering except with half as much.
Yeah. And he doesn't split in half. He just gets really torn up.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
Nice.
But a
I'd
good
rather walk
note
the
to
plank.
start.
Mr. Krabs
go for a
threatened to do that to SpongeBob in one episode.
Well, SpongeBob would be fine with that. He would just turn into spaghetti or something, and then be like,
And,
"I'm
he would-
ready for work, Mr. Krabs."
And he would clean the bottom of the ship.
Yeah.
The genre of the week is pirate movie.
Arrgh.
Moo.
Love pirate movies.
Yeah.
Or-
It's mine. Yay!
Yay,
I made a
don't
cow
think
noise
this
because
one.
agriculture is stealing
Okay,
morality.
so pirate movies are all about high seas. They're like a subgenre of the adventure genre. They're about high sea adventures. Lots of swashbuckling, lots of pillaging, rummaging.
There's not much
and
rummaging.
Regular rum.
And rum.
Yeah, regular rum.
I would say definitely.
There's rum running,
like
maybe.
Swashbuckling.
Yeah, I'd say rum plus pillaging equals rummaging.
No, rummaging would be like if it's like, where's your treasure? It's in that big chest under like a bunch of paper and cotton balls and stuff.
Here, let me rummage through it. Yeah, that would happen. Yeah, that's kind of the basis. There are three main like pirate stories in fiction. You guys are probably like first guess would be no, you don't have to guess. Peter Pan, Treasure Island, and Sinbad the Sailor.
That's funny because that's pretty much all I was thinking. If you remember from last week, I said I can't wait to hear your examples that aren't Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, there are.
And
Is Peter
Because,
Pan
I mean-
a pirate movie?
There are pirates.
absolutely no, yeah, because his nemesis is a pirate.
I
Yeah.
think it's more of a child disappearance adventure
There's-
movie.
Side note about Peter Pan: what's the moral of the story?
Let people kidnap you. They have candy and drugs.
Yeah, like what do the characters learn?
You know what happens with the Lost Boys?
What?
They when they get too old, Peter Pan kills them.
Yeah, but and there's versions of like all those stories, like Hook, Treasure Planet, if you remember that, the space opera retelling.
Yeah, I actually like that.
It was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are some movies that feature pirates. I'm not sure whether you call them pirate movies or not. It's up to debates. Like Swiss Family Robinson, The Goonies, and most recently Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's pirates.
Modern pirates.
Modern pirates, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course the big wig Pirates of the Caribbean,
Yes.
which
Adam,
is kind of
look
like
at me. I have an
Yeah.
example now.
you do.
Assassin's Creed, Black Flag.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That counts.
Video game example.
Mhm.
So yeah. So you get the idea. It's gotta involve sailing on the seas with these outlaw people that are all about stealing something or they're after some kind of thing.
Not so much historically accurate as it is kind of romanticized. In the same
Yeah.
way you think of like medieval fantasy and like knights and like
Mhm.
all that kind of dragons and princesses. It's all romanticized.
Yeah, like late 1500s through I think the 1700s. Like Blackbeard was that was like
He was in Pirates of the Caribbean 4, which was 1650.
oh geez, that's older than I thought.
If those movies are correct about that.
In American social studies classes and history, like they really skip from like Pilgrims to Columbus, and then see, this is the problem.
Yeah,
They skip
right.
from Columbus. They go over the Black Legend a little bit, and then straight to Pilgrims, then straight to Revolutionary War times.
Yeah, we miss a lot of that good stuff, like this stuff. So let's, without further ado, get into characters. Character time.
Character time.
Let's get into some characters.
Okay.
If you know what I mean. One of them might be a whale.
I'll go first.
Oh, self-serving, are we?
Yeah.
He stole.
Sometimes I write a
that.
lot, sometimes I don't. This is the latter. So my character's name is Ronnie Oswald.
Ronnie Oswald.
Every time Adam starts describing a character, I just brace myself for the entire description. And now, because of last week, I brace myself for the entire episode. Just waiting for him to make some.
Yeah, last
Fun.
week was like, just as an aside, real quick. Last week was totally backwards
Oh yeah.
because Adam and I were having a ball, man. Like just doing this off the wall, crazy, ridiculous episode, and Andrew's just back there all outraged, like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. I don't know what they're up to. Oh, I can't be a part of this. Oh.
Don Knotts, I don't know where you hid Jimmy Stewart.
Okay, but yeah. Alright, if you want... I didn't really realize this until looking at it now, but Ronnie Oswald's probably Ronald Oswald. There's two Alds.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, that's probably the secretest thing in this name.
They call him Aldi. He's actually the namesake of the popular food chain or food store chain.
Okay.
All right, Victor, why
So-
don't you go next?
No, I
We
haven't
talked
told you
about him for long enough.
Ronnie Oswald, he is a first mate to whomever.
I thought that was going to be
figure
it.
that out.
To someone.
Yeah. You see, his character description, I'd say he's a incompetent pirate, but incredibly lucky. Like,
So he's a pirate
he
that
kinda-
can't do anything?
So like Mr. Magoo, the pirate.
Sorta. He's more of a Mr. Smee type from
Okay.
Peter Pan. Just kind of the bumbling sidekick, too.
Oh, is he the guy with the shirt and the...
And the
Pants
hat and the...
and the shoes.
Yeah, that guy. That's him. And he's just kind of like, incredibly lucky. He's probably seen more like, pirate battles and like, wartime and kind of bad things, but somehow miraculously makes it out alive.
Yeah.
Like George Washington.
Yeah, or kind of somewhat Jack Sparrowish in that regard of how he can just kind of wander
He does
through.
have that like crazy, like wacky luck.
Yep, and that's his description. All right.
Is he like Jack Sparrow is a little bit of a Rick from Rick and Morty type, where he's just like pretty, he's like so good at his job that he can be this lanky, drunk weirdo all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of he's not as good at his job, but just he somehow miraculously makes it out okay.
Sitcom pirate.
You're on top of your game.
Sitcom pirate would be a good way to put him. Yeah, older gentleman, I'd put him like 50s-ish, which is old for a pirate.
No, Morty, we gotta go to this island, Morty. It's got the gold with the special gold, the Aztec gold. Okay, you can't get there unless you know how to be there, Morty. Yeah, I know how to be there. I've been there. All right.
Oh, jeez, Rick. This is some crazy stuff. We're on a boat.
All right.
I don't even understand.
Before we do the rest of the episode like this, Andrew, you're next.
All right. I was holding that burp in for a while, and I burped exactly as Victor was doing a Rick impression. That was pretty on point.
On sync.
Don't edit it out.
Go for it.
All right. My character is named Architooth.
Architooth.
Okay.
Opature.
Ask me how to spell that.
No.
Okay, good, because it's a name that's never been written down before. You see, his island people communicate through song.
He's an island person, I see, who sings.
He is an island person. He is,
So he is not a pirate.
he is a type of... Despite my reputation, I have not done a very D-Rayleigh character in a while.
Okay, so is this him?
At least 2 weeks.
No, I really haven't. It's always like...
Well,
It's
what
always
about
like-
Crate Luck?
I put a ghost in a ghost movie. Revolutionary.
You put a Gaelic king of the dead.
He's
He
in
was a
charge of the
god.
ghosts.
Yeah,
All right, keep going.
keep going.
All right. Architooth is a giant squid. And when I say giant squid, I don't mean he's a giant squid like a giant squid. I mean he's colossal. When I say he's colossal, I don't mean he's colossal like a colossal squid. I mean he's big. Like, he's so
Okay.
big. He is big enough that you could mistake him for an island. And people frequently do. Like an original OG Kraken. People are like, oh, we found the giant squid. We found the Kraken. No. That guy's like nothing amount of length long. Krakens are big, and you land on them, and they eat you. But Architooth is like, he's like the Kraken that doesn't want to eat people. He just kind of wants to like chill out and sing in the ocean.
Settle down,
Oh, so he's a gentle
Yeah.
giant.
He wants to find a place to hang his hat and his 50 ties.
What degree of haberdashery are giant squids involved with?
I'm not going to dignify that with a response. They're not as good as manipulating things as, say, an octopus because they actually have little spikes around their suckers, and colossal squid have hooks, which is crazy.
Okay.
Sucker hooks.
Anything else?
Stab and suck. Not really. I just wanted to do something crazy this time.
All
I'm
right,
not
that's
going to
fine.
let you guys
That's-
put me down anymore.
That's
You control
not,
what I
that is
do.
definitely- It's definitely not your craziest. I mean, it's a pirate movie. For there to be a giant squid is not like that.
It's a singing
Out of-
island.
Well, we can make him work. The
Yeah.
episode's not over.
Hey there, pirates. Welcome to my mantle. Hang out as long as you please.
All right, Victor, finally, bring us home.
Okay. My character is he's a man that I'm gonna say is about, give him an age. Let's say he's about 40. And he actually, came from the United States, well, not the United States, the colony area, if we're doing that time period.
Okay.
And he had a little farm.
Yeah.
And had a wife, and I kept this a little bit ambiguous, but he caught a man with his wife, and and he knew a thing or two about swords because his father was in the Navy, and he actually went after this man with a sword because he caught him in the barn with his wife. But this guy, no, hold on. But this guy took like a pitchfork, for the hay, and tried to defend himself and raked it across this guy's face. So there's this nasty 3 slashes, like huge scars across his face, and that's where he got the name Old Scratch.
What kind of farmer was he?
Like basic crops, I guess. Maybe corn and I don't know, like. Oh god.
That was a
but anyway,
I was really
waiting
for you to say corners. It wasn't that funny. I don't know why.
That's his background. He left her. He killed the man, by the way. Then left.
Hashtag proud of you.
And he now basically just jumped on the first outgoing ship, and he kind of just.
What about his wife?
Well, I don't know
said.
if this matters. I kind of pictured him after he killed the guy, kind of like burning the whole estate down, and she might have been in it. So I'm willing to change whatever details I need to fit the story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he just kind of walked away from that and just went on the sea. And now, he's kind of just a grizzly old deckhand, tan, leathery skin. He's always outside and pretty strong, but just quiet. And like I said, his pirate nickname is, they call him Old Scratch, because he's got them real bad scars on his face. Cool. And,
I think that.
And that's it.
All right, great. All right, so and now it's time for the story. 3 acts. We're going to craft that with these guys. All right. Sometimes we have kind of too many protagonists to choose from. This time I don't think we have too few. We have 3 auxiliary characters, sort of.
I think
we don't know what to do.
Okay, I've got an idea. I motion. I'm going to nominate Old Scratch as captain.
Would he be captain, or is he just the deckhand?
I don't think he definitely doesn't start as captain. Here's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something we don't get to do very much here at GenreBot. Let's, from scratch, come up with what's a cool conflict for these characters to be dealing with.
Oh.
Anything.
Okay.
Could be literally anything. Like maybe 2 rival pirate ships fighting, or maybe there's a certain kind of loot that they're both after.
What
or
if
maybe it's just one ship and it's just the kind of stuff that they're dealing with, and they're after something.
What if there's some kind of war going on between like some Native Americans or Native Caribbeans and English colonists, and these pirates are all from Europe or whatever, or colonists themselves.
Native Americans,
and they're in a conflict, and the pirates aren't really involved. They're just kind of profiteering.
We might be past Native Americans, are we?
I mean, we still have them now, so.
Oh, right, but it's more of a colonies, East India Trading Company.
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm pretty sure this is after like the Trail of Tears, and like it's done. Like
the Trail of Tears was like 1830s.
Oh,
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you're right, because, okay, no, he's right.
I
was never good with history. Okay, alright, so, We could say that there's some kind of conflict with that. I feel like the problem with that is now we're too tethered to history, and I feel like this will be more fun if we kind of do
If
our
we
own
leave
thing.
it romanticized.
Yeah,
we'll just
yeah.
leave it romanticized. We'll just make something up. It doesn't need
We
to be
have
an
a giant
actual-
squid island. I think we should do something with that.
Yeah. I
It's-
totally see that as a step of a quest.
How about this? How about we do that thing where how about we do like a bait and switch where for the first like half of the movie it's questing for this island, and then when they get there it's not what they expected, and it turns out, oh geez, it's this giant living thing, and then that becomes a whole new plot point for like the second half of the movie.
Something
Okay,
like that.
I've got an
Okay.
idea. What if they hear like the legends of? What if like people have seen Architeuth just like out on the sea, right? And as it spreads, the story spreads its tentacles across the globe. See what I did? They hear tales about this mysterious disappearing island, and it kind of gets conflated. And so eventually, when the rumor hits the pirates, it's a story like, "Oh, hey, Atlantis is real."
Something to the extent of, oh, hey, I was thinking just maybe intertwining with some kind of legend of a great gold, a great treasure, a great...
The treasure of Atlantis. Atlantis.
For some
a place
reason-
with treasure, probably.
For some reason, while I was sitting here thinking, my brain got all poetic here, and I thought there could be a lot of theme here. Old Scratch is going to have this kind of like he's running away from his past aimlessly, and I feel like this story
freak on a
should give
leash.
him some sort of new purpose that he finds for what he needs to be doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the giant monster is going to be an interesting symbol.
They're
to
not
him
monsters, Lex. They're
because
just animals.
Are you trying to white whale him?
Because it's no, because it's tremendous power, but it's benevolent, and there are people that want to use it for evil. You know, that could be a thing where like they wanna I don't know, something, kill it, harness it.
Yeah,
you know, use it to attack someone. I don't know.
Architeuth's benevolence is something to play up in
because
combat against.
I like the idea of there being these really harrowing tales of the giant kraken of like, oh, you know, it devours ships whole, and you know, and
maybe its teeth are worth more than gold.
something.
Like
Yeah,
something.
and that could be maybe like their captain is this crazy guy who's like, I'm gonna go kill it, you know, and they're like, why not just?
And his name could be Bayhab.
It'll be
No, but
Habby.
well, I know for a starting point, we do want a pirate ship filled with pirates.
Oh yeah.
This would be a fun activity for us.
Ooh.
Let's make a crew.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
How many
silly
of a crew
pirate characters.
How many of a crew do we need? Let's go with Firefly rules. Let's go with 9.
Okay, we have 2, and we were talking about pirates.
We
right?
need a captain. I mentioned the captain, so
Yeah.
I'll come up with him. Let's call him.
It's gonna be a generic
Okay,
name.
the captain's name is
Well, more about him than his name. Doesn't matter when we
Go
come
for
up with that.
Captain Lawrence.
Yep.
Lawrence.
Yep.
And he is a let's say that he's tall but not strong, like lanky kind of guy. And
Let's say he's like wacky.
Let's say he has like an opiate problem.
Opium.
So yeah, and he just rambles about all these legends and all this, and how he's obsessed with the idea of obtaining great power of the sea.
You know what they say about Architeuth?
What's that?
That's like a Rick character.
Oh,
Oh my
almost.
god, that was your Rick. Old Dumbledore.
I haven't watched the show.
You should watch the show.
Sorcerer's
I
Stone
know.
and Chamber of Secrets Dumbledore. What'd you do with Rick?
Harry, we gotta go to some other planet. Harry, it's gonna be crazy. You're not gonna even know what's going on.
Your parents loved you, Harry.
Oh yeah, it's a real cool island, Maury. You like this island, Maury? You think it's a nice place? Yeah. Well, guess what, Maury? It's totally a giant
Okay,
squid.
great. Yeah, that's Captain Lawrency. All right, I got
Victor's Rick
Okay.
impression is the stuff of legend. Let me tell you guys.
him. Okay. I had an idea for. Bear with me. 3 crew members. Okay. One is short and has a hook for a hand. One is tall and lanky, but fights with like a weighted net.
Oh my god, this is gonna be a joke.
And the third one has like kind of like fights with like a small like boat anchor. like kind of like swings it around.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Fine. Go for it.
Sure.
I'm
it
being
gets three
myself
of them
this
out of the way.
episode. You can be yourself this episode.
That's already 6.
I saved those from the High Fantasy episode. Those were the 3 other huntsmen.
All right, Andrew, what do you got?
Okay. Talking. Human.
Okay, same as usual.
Yeah. Normal kind of
Well,
human.
not this week.
Not his character.
Yeah, right.
Woman.
Ooh,
Mm.
lady.
Black.
Ooh.
Oh,
No. Okay.
Actually, that would be more common than a white woman.
In this part of the world,
Yeah.
yeah. How about you give her some traits?
Yeah, how about, like, who is she, man?
What does she do?
doesn't take anyone's crap, but is not
Why
a
is she
jerk.
with these pirates?
Yeah, like, what's her story? Like, what's... I don't know.
Well,
You
okay,
see
what's the
prostitutes?
backstory of Hook, Line, and Sinker? Where'd they grow up? What was their favorite color?
Oh, I mean, they had a role. They're crewmen. Is she a crewman?
Yeah, like, what does she do? Does she
Yeah,
work on the
she's like
ship?
a second mate. She, she's like,
I mean, she's a unique character. These a black female isn't usually in this role.
In this
Why?
era, in this place in the world, and this
She's
line
good
of
at what
work,
she does.
she would not really be...
and
she
what
sounds-
she does is assassinating people.
She could maybe be a new deckhand, and she's like masquerading as a boy or something.
Nah, like a femme fatale.
Oh yeah. What? Something like what if she maybe the captain had her as a like hired on as a prostitute early, but for some reason he took a liking to her and kind of trained her in the ways of stealth.
Maybe she's a mystic.
You're thinking mystic,
Because, like, the captain's obsessed with, like, I want to find this island.
a diviner type.
Yeah, something
Sure.
like that.
What kind of magic would she do?
Calypso style magic.
Yeah, like from the movie. Maybe some kind of gypsy, or, I don't know.
It could be, if you want to, instead of black, say she's more Native American, you could have roots in that type of stuff.
Alright, moving on. So we got her,
Diviner
let's
type.
come up, I don't know, let's come up with just a couple more random characters that don't matter.
This is fun.
Let's say there's like a short fat guy that is like seemingly useless, but for some reason there's like one thing he's super good at, and that's why they keep him around. Maybe he's like the cook.
All right, the short fat cook.
Yeah.
Andrew, you haven't named your diviner. Do you want a letter?
Stacy.
Something a little more.
Staceroth.
Stacerai.
Sarai.
Sarah.
Sarah. All right, that's her new Christianized name.
There you go.
Risky.
Okay.
How about Sarah Brisky? There's a name for a fictional
All right,
character.
your fat cook.
Let's call him Wallace.
Nice.
I'm not a fan of your generic names, but that's a pretty solid name for a fat cook.
All right, and one more. All right, who are we missing in this crew? We got some workers. We got some another crewman. You got him.
We need a navigator.
Oh, navigator. Yeah, sure. Okay. Navigator is a kind of young, handsome guy, clean shaven. Let's see. He's maybe the son of someone else. Doesn't usually go out on trips like this. Maybe he's Ronnie Oswald's son. Like the incompetent first mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a kid that who's like this is his first trip with him. We can call him Scotty.
Maybe. Okay, I mean, whatever. That's for the name, but maybe like he's like his dad is just this insane, wacky guy that can barely do his job. So his son's kind of there to pretty much just like watch out for him.
Yeah, he's like, no, don't put that down. Put that down. Let Hook, Line, and Sinker get the cannons.
He like holds up a musket instead of a telescope. He's like, whoa, hey there, here, hold this.
I like that Ronnie's he's gone from 50s to like just senile.
Yeah. I think that's great.
All right, yeah, cool. Anyone else?
That's good enough.
I think we're all right. Cool.
We've got a pretty colorful crew.
What
I'm gonna
does
this is gonna be the
Calypso
longest
do?
list of secondary characters I've ever put on the spoiler page.
All right, Sarah. I imagine Captain Lawrence has gotten her help.
She's gonna have he's gonna be like constantly consulting with her because she's basically gonna be like he's gonna try to probably use her to try and find what he wants. Remember, the captain we're gonna say is just kind of crazy, and he wants to he you know, like I said, he's always high, and he's like the tales say that the worthiest of men will one day travel to the forbidden land.
Let's flesh him out a little bit more. I don't want to do just like pure kind of Ahab craziness instead, because we're in that he's definitely that archetype at this moment. Let's change that. Andrew, you have any ideas of what to flesh him out a bit?
Mexican.
Besides like race, like come on,
Yeah, like, come on.
No.
Maybe
backstory, motivation.
Let's make him Asian, but played by Matt Damon.
maybe he. All right, no, he's not. Maybe he was like a young deckhand boy
when he saw this creature on the horizon
on a ship that just got annihilated or something.
The whole ship got destroyed. He was the lone survivor.
Yeah,
What if it was a different
he
one of
salvaged the
these-
ship, and that's how he became his own captain when he was a young man.
Yeah.
What if it was a
saying what if it was
different?
different?
What if it was a different Kraken, like not Arcatooth?
Yeah, and it was because Arctooth is benevolent. It was instead a darker, an evil version.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe this was in like more the North Atlantic, and there's like a different Arcatooth up there who's like in charge
Right.
of that.
Yeah, okay, so he's traveling around, right?
Yeah.
Or rather,
he's going to be going all over the place because he's trying to find it.
maybe
Oh, what if he has Viking blood?
we're a
Why
little.
are you so hung up on his race?
No, I mean like he has Viking because he would be if he was from up north. Then like maybe he would have Viking ancestry, and Vikings were like a kind of pirate.
It doesn't reflect on the story as
No,
much.
He could be anything. I don't know. He can be. That's one of those. That's one of those situations where, like, if this became a real movie and they were casting and they're like, okay, so
what does he look like?
and we would be
What
like,
do you have in mind?
you know what? The personality traits are more important.
Maybe he's a big guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. Yeah, that could be the case.
Blue eyes are easier to look crazy.
That's true.
So
That's
that's maybe one good
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. So but I'm thinking that he's maybe came from money almost like had rich parents.
I like the
and,
idea
like,
of him having a very dramatic turn in his life where suddenly everything was just burned down and he becomes this driven, wacky. Because that's the thing, like he's this like kind of weird, like off the wall guy when he's around the crew. But I imagine that when he's like alone and like doing drugs or whatever, he's actually really like kind of somber and serious,
very sober with like Sarah.
Yeah, like when he's with her.
Mhm.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and people like the Scotty, our navigator, right? Yeah,
Scotty!
when Scotty and stuff like that, he's definitely more of a protagonist type.
Mm.
Following him around seemed like, what's with this weird
Yeah, well,
crew?
this is definitely not this isn't going to be one of those stories where it's like Firefly, like, we're a crew, we're a family, we're in this together. It's like,
It's more of a
this is a job, like,
I'm getting an assorted, a team of misfits,
yeah, exactly.
perfectly suited for this task
Just
of
thrown-
finding this island Kraken.
Yeah, just thrown together by circumstance. And
Okay.
You said that Sarah has Calypso type powers. What does that
Yeah,
mean
that's
for
what
those
I
of
mean.
us that haven't seen Pirates of the
Oh,
Caribbean?
right.
Morty.
I remember I showed you 3/4 of the first one.
Yeah, Calypso is like she was like a weird, like, gypsy woman.
Gypsy mystic type.
Yeah, she
All right, she would throw a bunch of bones on like a map, and they would tell you where key things were. She would be able to divine that information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's almost like a witch. But
Yeah,
like
she
very,
could have curses and types of things like that.
yeah,
and-
but very, very sea focused, and it's
Yeah, like
it was
sea salt and
It was
sea
revealed
foam.
later is because she had a connection to this actual ancient sea.
she was like a
goddess.
demi sea god.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she had kind of like a weird gypsy witch league.
Yeah, so I imagine Sarah would like throw a bunch of sea foam on like a table, then throw salt, and those patterns would like tell her things about the future.
Actually, I think it would be cool if we actually went full on mystic and she was able to conjure up like these weird like projections and could show him like these visions of giant kraken doing weird stuff.
What if something like that? But she could only see those things when she was like submerged. Like they had like a kind of. Remember back in our...
Oh, dude, wait. What if it was really messed up, and in order for her to have visions, they actually have to dunk her in the ocean? So they have to, like, lower her down with the anchor.
Yeah, there's some drowned god Game of Thrones stuff going on with that.
That's funny, because it's like a drowning stool is one way that you kill witches, and with her, it's just like, that's how she normally works.
Yeah, that's a funny subversion.
I don't know, I just think it's cool because it really shows a deeper... Instead of, like, oh, well, I'm connected to the sea, so if you give me, like, some seawater in a glass, I can
it shows a more kind of
it's like, no, I have to be in it, like... So that's interesting.
So
that
she's
could be a way of...
a deep water focused mystic.
Also,
Yes.
I
fuel for
will
the
give
fire for
Pirates
the
of the
John
Caribbean.
Cinematic universe theory.
I will give Pirates of the Caribbean credit for one thing. I think it was great that they just went full on with all the magic stuff.
Oh yeah, after the first movie, very kind of low magic.
The first one was like, oh, there's this one curse. Now, and
now
afterwards,
like,
it's like,
curses everywhere, magic
there's
everywhere.
all kinds of stuff.
This guy, he's got an octopus face. Yeah.
I should watch
You
these
didn't
movies.
have
I love
to,
octopus
though.
faces.
Yeah, I'll have to rent all of them to you sometime.
I think the first three are all watchable.
The fourth one's watchable too. It's just got a different, smaller scope.
I feel like if I pirate the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, the FCC will be like, okay.
That's forgivable.
Fair.
All right, so let's make a little bit more of a structure to this. I'd say Scotty Oswald. Let's start off with him, kind of our young protagonist, talking about him going on his first adventure with his pop, his Ronnie Oswald, his old man. And Ronnie Oswald's been going around the world collecting this assortment of people with Captain Lawrence. And Captain Lawrence has his goal just I want to find this this one of these giant krakens.
I want him to only tell his crew that he's looking for an island, though.
Oh,
Because the island contains great riches. So it seems like such a trope, it's a treasure island. But he's BSing them because he thinks that they'll mutiny him if he says, like, I'm going to find this giant squid that's as big as an island, and I'm going to try and control its brain and rule the world. He's afraid if he says that, they won't do it.
Now say it in the Rick voice.
See, they got it all wrong, Morty. See, you got to, it's not like you can just tie a big rope around it and ride it like a horse. You got to get inside its brain, Morty. Got to get inside its brain. Be smarter than that. It's just a dumb squid. Who cares if it's big? I'm smarter than this stupid thing.
all right. No, not bad. Okay, yeah, and Scotty probably maybe has very slighted views of his father. Like he probably thinks he's doing this great guy doing all this good stuff.
He really looks up to him.
Really looks up to him, but he finds out slowly. Maybe they have an encounter with another pirate ship early on.
I've been thinking this for a while now. We did a great job coming up with an interesting universe, a bunch of characters, and all their motivations.
Yeah, sort of.
Act 1.
Story time!
I've been doing that with Scotty. Okay,
all right,
we're in Act 1 with Scotty,
Act
right?
1, we're going to be introduced to the crew.
Right, through the eyes of Scotty.
Yeah.
So let's say Scotty is just coming aboard.
Let's say he's Jewish.
Okay. Let's say that his father is letting him come aboard, and he's anxious to be working with his father. But Act 1 can be him learning that it's a good thing I'm here.
Yeah.
My dad tends to almost die a lot.
Yeah, right. I don't know how you get along without him. But yeah,
so that can be an interesting way of meeting everybody.
All right, then they're off. What kind of piratey step things can we do along the ways?
Well, let's say that in Act 1 they're just kind of shoving off, and it can be sort of Odyssey-esque, where they do run into trials.
Mm-hmm.
They do have to. I mean, they have to stop every now and then.
Yeah, right.
Let's say they run into this or into that. There's other ships.
They're at a port.
Smaller
and things go
islands.
wrong.
Yeah, ports. Okay, but Act 1, let's say it's just this kid meeting the crew. Maybe he meets Old Scratch, and Old Scratch is kind of like I said. He's not nice, but he's all right, keep your head down, kid, like stuff like that. And so like he'll
There's definitely
kinda,
something between
Yeah.
an interesting point between Old Scratch and Scotty.
Yeah, so they kind of, get to know each other a little in Act 1 while they do all this stuff. And I think Act 1 should be a lot of kind of like ominous foreshadowing of what's the captain up to.
Right.
And then Act 2, like I said, I think Act 2 should be a big thing where it becomes clear. We're going to this island because there's riches, and that's when we start hitting all the big trial stuff.
Okay. Let's try and name some of those trials.
Yeah, what's some wacky stuff they can end up running
Andrew,
into?
recall anything from the Odyssey or Odyssey?
There's Charybdis, the whirlpool.
Scylla and Charybdis.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Aren't there rocks that like clash together?
Yeah.
The
Maybe.
floating rocks that clash.
There's
clash
there's the Cyclops.
Mhm.
They have to go to Hades. They get stuck on Circe's island.
There's the island with the sirens.
The sirens
Yeah.
is one thing. They
Oh.
have to tie out Odysseus to the mast so he resists. The
Funny
Cyclops.
story
and
about
the-
Cyclops is, you know where that legend comes from?
They found hang on.
I know what it is.
You got
They found, wasn't it like an elephant skull?
oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's an elephant skull, and they thought that the trunk hole was an eye.
Yeah.
Nice.
But they were dwarf
Yeah.
elephants, is the fun thing.
And the cool thing about the Odyssey is that a lot of those like events happen in the Argonaut as well.
Yeah.
Argonautica. Like this, except for the sirens that time, they filled theirs with beeswax
Right.
and played loud
So
music.
so instead of
Oh, wait,
kind of
just loud music.
instead of like reiterating stuff that's already happened, why don't we come up with something completely new, like that they run into? Let's come up with our own mythos of the sea.
Okay.
Like what's a weird thing they can run into?
Mosasaur.
We already have a giant squid island. so
Jurassic
it can't be
World
something
Mosasaur.
Like
Well, hang on, Andrew. The problem with that is that we want the giant kraken to be a surprise.
Yeah, okay.
So having another large sea creature kind of takes away from that.
All right.
that. What if they?
An island type thing, right?
I'm
They
guessing
go to an island. On that island is some type of weird creature.
giant bugs.
Giant bugs.
Nah, I'm gonna veto the giant bugs.
I'm just
Uh,
ideas here.
I'll put that in the record book.
All right, so okay, let's say that they stop at this little island.
Now, what kind of bugs?
and,
Seriously, though.
Maybe like while they stop there, Sarah's all freaked out, like, "Ooh, this is not a good place." This, they're like, "Oh, relax. We're hungry. It's way too long since our last port."
Maybe
Shut
there's
up,
a
person we picked to see the future.
Oh,
What
I
do
got
you
it.
know?
Mind controlling fruit.
Oh, I was gonna
mind
say.
control fruit.
I was gonna say there's a plague of some kind, a curse on that island.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Mind controlling fruit.
Okay.
So
Oh.
they eat the fruit from some tree or something, and because they're starving, But the fruit does something really messed up to them.
Hang
What
on,
does the
one
fruit
sec.
want to control them to do?
But before they're starving, they should stop somewhere where there's a plague that ruins their food supplies.
Mm.
Something like that. Something that adversely affects their food supply, so they have to stop for food. That was a big thing in the Argonautica and the Odyssey, those types of things. So yeah, then after bad things happen to their food, they go to an island for fruits, controls their minds.
But what I'm thinking is like there's something. You said it's a curse.
Yeah.
So let's say the curse is that this island, some mystical being or god or whatever said, kind of like a Garden of Eden, like no one shall eat the fruit of this island. So let's say somebody
does.
eats something, and then like zombie starts like walking into the ocean.
Hey Wallace, what can you do with this? Hey Wallace, try and make us a nice fruit smoothie. Oh, I'm sorry. Nice
wait,
fruit
wait.
scurvy.
I have an idea. Maybe something bad happens, but then Wallace finds out, like, yeah, just cut off the stem. Curse goes away.
He finds out
Something
a
like
loophole
that.
like that.
Don't eat the rind.
Don't eat the
The fruit part. It's fine.
just spit out the seeds to the frequency of Camptown Lady, and you're okay.
Careful, Morty. Don't eat the fruit off of that tree. You'll be farting out your eyeballs, Morty.
Okay, yeah, little trials like that. Okay, they run to.
We should disclaimer this
Scenarios.
episode. You really should go check out Rick and Morty so that you know what I'm impersonating.
Okay. Let's see. Before we get there to
just one
Arctooth,
thing.
which is there's a few things there.
Let's come up with at least one other thing that they run into.
Okay,
Crazy
you mentioned-
monkeys.
Crazy monkeys.
Crazy monkeys.
These monkeys.
Crazy monkeys.
When I say crazy monkeys, I don't mean crazy. I mean they're going crazy. Does that make me crazy?
Like Planet of the Apes crazy?
I'm going crazy.
I don't know. Andrew, is this a tired Andrew today?
Are you okay, Andrew?
This is a manic Andrew. I just drank like a Coca-Cola and an iced coffee. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Well, yeah, they could, an island of monkeys. There's some cool islands in the Argonautica where it's like, oh, they land this island and it's a mythical island of all women.
Let's say
you
you
can't
can't
Dawn
leave.
Treader. There's like a bunch of crazy stuff in there. Like there's an island where you jump into a lake and everything turns into gold, but then like a person goes in there and he dies.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Let's say that they get boarded.
Ooh.
Let's say another ship shows up, there's a big fight, and they lose.
I was going to say
and
we
they
need
all-
more swashbuckling.
So what happens is, like, the two ships are kind of towed next to each other, and what happens is there's this big sequence in Act 2 where there's a history between this other captain and this guy,
And Lawrence.
and they learn more about what is Lawrence doing, and they get all kinds of more information as to what are they doing, and then something crazy happens and they get out of it, but now everyone's kind of like put
Iffy
off,
about
like,
Lawrence.
because that's going to bring us into Act 3
yeah, right.
where they're going to find it,
Mhm.
and
And they're going to realize that, oh, wait, we've followed a madman.
yeah, like, oh geez. So,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that rival pirate idea. Do you want to give this rival a name?
Ryan the rival pirate.
Is
Captain Ryan.
Ryan's?
Ryan is an
Hang on. Just Orion. Orion.
Oh, like yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
cool.
And that can be
Sure.
like on his little pirate, his Jolly Roger flag is like the constellation Orion.
Yeah, and he's got mythical powers stored inside his belt.
Maybe that could be his thing. Is he actually dabbles in other kinds of mystical sea magic?
He collects them.
But like something small time. Like it's not like he can conjure a storm, but like maybe while he gets into a big fight with this, while they're trying to escape, maybe he can do something like like summon a strong wind.
I want him to be a little more neutral, lawful. If that's the thing, right?
Lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral, yeah. Lawful neutral, as in that he's more put together than Lawrence. He's got his act together.
Oh yeah.
He's a little more
he
team
definitely
mystic.
does. But that's the thing,
Yeah,
though,
a
is
little more
that
team mystic.
because
True.
of that, he's less driven. So okay, maybe he's got his act together.
He's probably got
But Lawrence is crazy, so that's how he's going to end up getting like
got like a really
Does that make
tight
me
crew.
crazy?
there could be like a really poignant scene where Captain Orion is like standing on the plank, because they're you tried to kill us, tried to take my ship, and Lawrence thinks like this is a moment of unity, we're a crew, we beat you, and now you're going to hell, and maybe he says something really like ominous,
Yeah, like
you could never control the beast. And they're like, what does that mean? And then he just kind of like Spartan kicks him off the ship.
Actually, I would stop it there. I would say the crew, almost that mutiny type thing that Lawrence was so afraid of happens, where they say, look, like, Orion, he was fair to us. He was kind, he was merciful to us. He was very respectful, and you're just gonna kill him? Like you're, like, almost like, I know we're pirates, but come on. We have guidelines.
And then Line throws his net over him and pulls him in to save him.
Yeah.
And,
Line pulls him in.
Oh, I want there to be a scene here where, too many characters. What's the first mate's son's name?
Scotty.
Scotty fights Lawrence.
Scotty
Like
fights
sword
Lawrence.
fights him.
Hang on. For a second, I was going to say that, alright, something like Line saves... Line saves Orion from Doom, and Lawrence, like, disowns them, more or less. Like says, you're not part of my crew, and he takes only, like, key members.
Maybe what he
with
does
him.
is, since all the other crew was being held captive on their ship, he just jumps over to the other one and
just
sails
takes it,
off.
yeah. It's just him, Scotty, because he and Scotty will have a confrontation.
They'll be fighting.
Eventually.
Right, and that could be a thing, is that
But
it's just those two on the other
He sees
ship.
Scotty as his protege, really, I'd imagine.
Maybe.
Or-
He's like, I'm gonna make you understand, Morty. I'm gonna...
Scotty.
Scotty. I went right into Rick.
Yeah, no, him with Scotty and Sarah, and probably Ronnie as well.
Plain logic doesn't get through to you, Morty. Maybe a giant Squid Island will.
Or maybe actually, okay, I'm saying people that stay with Orion on his ship, Ronnie should stay with him and be split up from Scotty. Scotty maybe has more, he's been under Lawrence's influence. He's really kind of taken with this idea.
Okay.
It's kind of put a wedge between the two of them. Yes, no?
I like the idea of Scotty being the hero here and standing up to him and saying, like, you can't kill this guy.
I'm saying yes, but that's an Act 3 thing. In Act 2, these two...
No, because I like the idea of the two crews being united against Lawrence, but Scotty being kind of thrown into a different mix. You know, like because like I said, he's fighting him, gets separated from the crew, and now it's going to be up to Old Scratch to lead this crew to go and save Scotty.
Yeah,
and then at the same time, they have to stop Lawrence.
All right, so yeah, it's more of a Lawrence when he leaves with Scotty. It's more of a kidnapping.
And then I think at the end, it would be pretty cool if Old Scratch ends up being kind of a hero too, where he kind of maybe he's the one that actually does finally kill Lawrence.
Yeah, I see some redemption in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Adam, are you getting some Clegane vibes from Old Scratch?
I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Good. So am I.
And there's a lot. Interesting. There's a lot
Game of
of
Thrones.
GOT style characters we're taking from this. Okay, but yeah,
Disclaimer: I don't watch the show, so I need that's pure coincidence.
and I'm sure there's something that the two of us watch, The Flash, that Andrew doesn't watch.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty's a what's the Flash?
Cisco?
No, a Barry Allen type.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
I know that.
yes.
That's the Flash.
Well, Grant Gustin's incarnation.
Is the Flash in the Flash Grant Gustin or Barry Allen or Wally West or
Grant Gustin is the actor that portrays Barry Allen in the show The Flash.
Okay.
So.
All right, Act 3. Now Lawrence is heading out with. Lawrence is traveling with. All right, so Lawrence has kidnapped Scotty more or less, and is going with probably Scotty, Sarah, Old Scratch.
He's got to have Sarah.
Yeah.
So
Scotty and Sarah.
No, Old Scratch is with the other
crew
because he's
You
kind of
gotta
their new
have Sarah,
captain.
Morty. She's important. She represents the people, Morty. The people watching the movie. They connect to her.
Yeah. Maybe
I think,
just those three then.
Okay, yeah, those three, and I think because this is leading towards the end where Old Scratch is going to take up the responsibility of being the new captain.
Sort of, yeah.
So
but anyway, they go and they finally find Arcatooth,
They find it.
who reveals himself to be a singing.
Now, Andrew, this is your moment.
Yep.
So they get to the island. Now, describe to us two things. What's it like when they get there, and how do they find out that it's a giant squid? Like, how does that come about?
Okay. Now, have you seen videos on YouTube of octopodes, actually, but octopuses, because we've made it an English word.
What's the rest of the sentence?
Okay,
Yeah.
have you seen videos on YouTube of octopuses, like, they go against a rock and they turn into, like, a pretty good approximation of that rock?
They,
Yeah.
as in, camouflage.
Yeah.
It just
they
looks like a big, rocky island. Like an on-location thing that you don't have to CGI, maybe. Production costs, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, but like when you walk on it.
When you
what's
walk
that
on
like?
it, it feels like, it's squishy. And then, like, you just see an eye, and it's like, hey, how's it
Okay,
going?
so you'll find
I'm a
out
squid.
immediately.
Okay, yeah, no.
It's not like you'll be in the middle of it and be like, I think there's something funny. This is no cave.
Yeah, right.
No. I think
This isn't a cave.
No.
Right. Yeah, that type of stuff. Okay. Yeah, the eye, it opens up. There's definitely, that's totally.
so it's-
What if he's
So
on
it
his
doesn't
side,
take long,
and that's
like-
why there's an eye there?
Yeah, they
And,
get close enough to it, and like, what's this, like, features, and,
Oh, and-
the eye opens.
And that will be a haunting moment. An
Yeah.
eye that big. I mean, squid eyes are already
They're
terrifying.
the biggest eyes in the animal kingdom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's going to be
And they're the
insane.
biggest of the biggest.
So when he sees an eye that's like
And
the
when I say
size
big-
of 3 ships, he'll be like,
Hey, how's it going? You're standing near my eyeball.
scream.
with him singing, I think with the tone that we've been going for, can it be like just a haunting like whale song?
I was
type
thinking
thing?
whale song type thing, but it's also
Yeah,
kind of
whale
funny to
song-
think of him as
Actually-
just like a jazz singer.
Actually,
Bud, bud.
What if we actually made that more of like a special effect noise that doesn't really match any other animals?
Oh,
Like just like
Oh, yeah.
a weird kind of symphonic, almost synthesizer-y
Oh,
sound
have you heard of
that's
the-
very
the
like
bloop?
otherworldly? You know, like 'cause
Yeah, like the bloop. Like
Yeah.
in this universe would be the explanation of the bloop sound.
Yeah.
you know what that is?
I do know what the bloop.
yeah, the bloop is
Okay.
a ultra low frequency sound that was recorded by NOAA, and nobody knows what it is. Although now we think it's an ice quake.
But that's just what the government wants you to know. You know, Noah's been covering up aquatic apes for the past 3 centuries.
I'm gonna go to sleep. Just never talk to me about the aquatic ape theory ever again.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, we see this
All right,
giant.
so they find the island. Now, here's something I've been kind of dreading, but has to be done. What's Lawrence's plan? Like, what's
Yeah, good question.
what's he gonna do? I think it's gonna be something with Sarah,
Something with Sarah. Yeah, definitely.
and it's
Maybe
gonna
she
involve...
Sarah.
magic charges a cannonball and fires that. And
Maybe
that does
there's some
something.
kind of ritual that she has to perform that links their two minds,
Hmm.
and maybe
Oh,
it actually starts to work.
Is that what we're going for? The mind link? Is
I
that-
think-
is that
I
our
think
goal here?
He wants to control it because then he'll basically be a god.
He's gonna try and
Be a sea
Pacific
god,
Rim
like
into
he'll-
a kaiju.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drift.
Hey, you trying to take over my mind? I don't really like that, but I'm cool with most stuff, so you're alright, I guess.
Yeah, so if his mind syncs with this amazing sea creature, then he can do amazing feats.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
no. What if the whale or the Arcatooth starts? He sounds like a weird synthesizing whale song, but then whenever Lawrence tries to speak, when he's like mind linked with Arcatooth, that's when we get like the jazzy stuff.
I kind of picture him talking kind of Dr. Manhattan-y. What? Like if he's going to be talking like through if let's say there's a scene maybe towards the end where the Arcatooth kind of pushes back and then ends up taking control of him instead of the other way around.
Ah, right.
And
yeah.
and that could be our finale where he finally gets to talk to the humans
Mhm.
and offers some kind of really like deep insight into something.
Finally gets to talk to
And
yeah,
then
like Scotty and
just
stuff.
disappears, you know. or
Hey,
something.
just letting
He'll-
you know to be good to each other. Okay, bye. I'm back in the sea.
He'll definitely fade away, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Into the sunset type thing.
It's got to be.
But-
They've got to do something to Lawrence and to make sure that Arcatooth gets control. Like it can't
Oh.
be something that Arcatooth does. It needs to be something.
Yeah,
the
right.
protagonists
No,
do.
I definitely think. Okay. All right. We're missing a Chekhov gun. Will solve this really fast. But okay, so Scotty is basically kidnapped using his net, forced to navigate the way to the island. They make it to the island, and Sarah is able to divine a way for Lawrence to link his mind with Arcatooth. So, and now Scotty has to get free and kind of combat Lawrence.
What if part of the spell is that he's like, let's say he's standing up at the bow of the ship,
Mhm.
and Scotty decides he's gonna slam the nose of the ship into Arcatooth to kill him. But that could be the big climax is that Old Scratch shows up, and instead of it being a suicide mission, their mission is to try and get the ship on course and then get him back over to the other ship so that they can escape.
So
You
they
know.
can sink Lawrence almost.
Yeah, and then there could be some real messed up moment where, like, after the collision, there's that moment where, maybe instead of Lawrence, maybe it's Sarah, where he jumps into her and like talks to them for a moment, and then leaves, and then they see it just kind of like going away.
Yeah, okay. Something like, they leave Lawrence with his ship.
Maybe even something foreboding about the next movie. I have lived many millennia, and never has a creature.
And there are other creatures
and-
like me.
Well, yeah, and never has a creature been so powerful as to overpower me.
yeah,
You
that
know,
type of stuff.
the world must be changing. Therefore, something bad like war will come. or something that
I
sets
would
up,
be needed.
Yeah.
I am needed. My time has not come yet.
Yeah.
Does that make me crazy? Probably.
Can we get Orson Welles for Arcatooth?
No, we physically cannot.
That would be great.
James Earl Jones.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he's our
Yes,
Arcatooth.
yes.
Although
Okay.
if we have him going into Sarah's mind, we could cast Sarah as we could pull a stunt cast and do like Beyonce. That'd be crazy. Beyonce in a pirate movie? What? Why? They would say, but then they would watch the movie and be like, "Oh, I get it."
So we finally get so Scotty manages to get out. Old Scratch comes to save him. I definitely want to see a sword fight happen between Lawrence, maybe possessed, superpowered Lawrence and Scotty. They have their two skills show off.
I remember Old Scratch fights him.
Old Scratch, yeah. Eventually,
Yeah.
Old Scratch is able to join the fights.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And okay, but yeah, they're able to. Everyone besides Lawrence gets off his ship, and then they finally, Arcatooth mind links with Sarah while they're on Orion's ship. He explains all his talking things, and they see Lawrence go down with his ship, and Arcatooth sails off into the distance, and they make it out okay.
Ooh, actually, what if it was something much scarier? Like this enormous, rift opens up in the ocean that goes down for, miles and miles and miles, and Arcatooth starts to kind of just swirl down into it, and you see there are other enormous beasts down there, even bigger than him.
Oh, like that, like those
And it
things
just-
that are on the edges of old maps.
And it just
Ooh,
kind
yeah,
of,
like
it just
those.
kind of gives you a glimpse at the ocean is vast and filled with stuff even crazier than this. And then then suddenly it just kind of all closes up, and then they're just alone in the silence, and it's like, what did we just see?
Yeah, and yeah,
that could be interesting.
and
too.
Scotty learned about himself, or kind of the will of a madman and the greater purpose that he serves.
Well,
right?
yeah, and like I said, a lot of it's going to be about the future, because like I said, I kind of designed Old Scratch to be a character that is searching for purpose, and he found it. Yay! There's other people in his life now that need him.
Yeah, he's good.
But that also leaves it open for well, now what? So we can come up with all kinds of.
Okay, I think it's pretty good. Andrew, any loose ends?
No, I don't think we left any loose ends. Did Wallace have a character journey? He realized that he wasn't the best chef he could be, but then he was.
But I got this really great octopus recipe, you guys.
Who's
The
feeling
inspiration
calamari?
just hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, what about hook, line, and sinker? I feel like one of them died because of the magic fruit.
Yeah, probably Sinker.
Sinker.
He's the big guy.
Oh, and he's
Sorry.
sunk.
He's sunk.
Womp womp.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right. Now it's time for our 5-minute limits.
5-minute limits.
Let's name it.
Name that movie.
This one should have a name, right?
I think so. I think it deserves one.
All right. Let's begin.
Pirates of the ambiguous mid-Atlantic area.
All right, we got that out of the way.
Search for the Forgotten Island. We can't say Kraken Island because that's.
That sounds like some kind of series.
Oh, we could just call it Arcatooth.
Nah.
But apparently we can't spell that or write that. That's not allowed.
Well, it's allowed, but I was just like, whatever. You don't need to know how to spell it. I put it in the Skype chat. It's like Arcatoothus, the generic name for giant squid.
It's gotta be something with a tagline.
I'm a scientist.
Just like Pirates.
Yeah, just like
So something. I like the tagline, the Forbidden Isle.
Wait, tagline or subtitle?
subtitle.
I'm sorry, subtitle. Subtitle could be
The Forbidden Isle.
The Forbidden Isle.
Is it forbidden or is it forgotten?
I would say forbidden because it's associated with all these tales of the Kraken.
Okay, forbidden. That works.
But what's our name for this film franchise?
Yeah, if we were going on, instead of Pirates of the Caribbean type.
Yeah, not like that.
It's there's a lot of mysticism.
I'm just gonna say seafarers.
Good start.
Buccaneers.
Yeah, Buccaneers. Except that you have to note that they're a weird assortment, a weird crew.
Mariners.
Mariners.
Uh,
The mystical mariners. Okay, occult is a word that means forgotten.
Pirates. Do you want to put pirates in there anywhere?
I'm not sure if we do, because Pirates of the Caribbean kind of got that.
Well,
We can't use the word pirates, unfortunately.
They don't have a lock on the word pirate.
They don't have a lock on it, but they kind of have a.
It just can't be
Okay,
the pirates
monopoly's the
of
word?
somewhere. People will be like, Psh,
Ooh, how about this? Kind of a double entendre. Ways of the sea.
Ways.
'Cause it's like where you're going and how things work. Because like they learn all this stuff about all this mystic stuff and the ways of the sea. There's this magic stuff they learn about.
I mean,
there are these. They're
It's
whatever.
got a cool like mystical vibe.
I like
And
the
it's-
ways
and
of the
it's-
sea, but we can't put the subtitle then because then it's too long. Then it's like a
Yeah.
fantasy title.
Ways of the Sea, the Forbidden Isle.
Yeah, that's a little
It's
too
not
much.
It's not too long.
I like ways. No, I think it's definitely too long. But
Why are you guys so afraid of things being more than 3 words?
because if
Because
it's
Now You See Me is called the sequel is called Now You See Me 2 because it was too long for Now You See Me Now You Don't.
But I disagree.
No,
no, if we make it
that's,
too
that's
long,
how it
it's
works
like
in this world.
the red amulet of the forbidden sorcerer. It's like a
Pirates,
it's like a dime store
Pirates of
fantasy
the
book.
Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. That's 13 syllables. Ready? Ways of the Sea, the Forbidden Isle.
This isn't a science.
Yeah, it's
I'm just
It's a feel
saying.
thing.
well, the number of words. It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
People look at the word Pirates of the Caribbean and they're like, "Oh, the Caribbean." I use that word all the time because it's just some place. Pirates
Chris,
are like
okay,
a kids
I
thing,
will-
like cowboys or whatever. And then people look at the ways of the sea and they're like, "Oh, I had to think about that. Now I have to think about the Forbidden Isle." Like it's too
Still
long
2 words
conceptually.
I admit that Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl is a very long title, and I have no idea how they were able to pull that off for a first movie.
Because
But that's more of an exception
there's
than
a
rule.
difference between something that sounds too long because it's just too much, or you can get away with it because it's a good title. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl
All right.
is a good title.
How about Ways of the Sea? Right, that's what we're calling it.
I like that as a title.
Yeah,
I think that's
like
the title
I
either
like
way.
I like the subtitle.
Yeah,
too.
no. What if we just make it simple and say Ways of the Sea, Forbidden Isle?
So just get rid of the.
Yeah, get rid of the.
Yeah, that actually declutters it a significant amount for some reason.
We
It
could keep,
doesn't,
all right,
though.
we could keep one the.
Ways of
No,
the
no,
Sea.
no.
Ways of the Sea, the Forbidden Isle.
Yeah.
Are we cool with that?
I kind of like the ways of the sea, Forbidden Isle.
No, because Ways of the Sea allows it to be a little more ambiguous.
It's more of a franchise that way.
Yeah, because the Ways of the Sea makes it seem like
Yeah,
this is it.
have you
These are
seen-
the ways.
Have you seen the latest Ways of the Sea movie, or have you seen the latest The Ways of the Sea movie?
Yeah, it's just easier that way.
All right,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that the title is more important, so it deserves the article. But yeah, that works.
This particular one, and so next one will be like
Actually,
oh,
a definitive article makes more sense for the subtitle because it's this particular tale.
yeah.
Without
and
the definitive article in the main title, that implies the franchise.
All right,
Yeah,
I will
I-
concede
I-
on one condition.
what's that?
There's like kind of a weird pseudo lowercase type font that we use, just so that the I in aisle can have the dot can be like a squid eye.
You got it.
Okay, you got it. Nailed it.
Even though it's a spoiler, but all right.
Well, you don't know it's a spoiler until you see the movie.
No, it could just be an eye.
Okay, just-
an eye symbol.
Right.
Type thing. All right,
Okay.
we got it. Hey,
Hey!
and that's our episode.
Nice.
If you like this, you can find more at our website, tinyurl.com/genrebots. We're also on iTunes. Leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook.com/genrebots, or send us a message on Twitter, at Genrebot Podcast.
Facebook, the genre bot.
And if you like this, if you have a better name, or if you want to tell us about your favorite fruits, go to send us an email at podcast.genrebot@gmail.com.
I would read it.
Oh, also, if you are looking for a different way to download our episodes, soon we will be hiring people to go out and hand people mauve envelopes containing MP3s of our episodes, just at random. Random people. You could be in the park. You could be
So it's
anywhere,
not-
and we
So
will.
if you get one, it's not anthrax. It's Genrebot.
Wait,
Yeah.
I thought they were manila envelopes, not mauve envelopes.
I did a mauve mandate, a mauve date.
All right.
All right.
Fair enough. Okay, Andrew, you have the final episode of the season arcs.
Is it? Are we already at the end?
39?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. What is our next episode, Andrew?
Next week on Genrebot, we enter a world where the line between delusion and reality is paper thin, where a man can't trust his wits, and may in fact have already lost them. And get ready to ask, are we already in the world of paranoid fiction?
Paranoid fiction.
So, like, the Twilight Zone.
Wow. Okay.
Or like
That's
Philip
cool.
K. Dick.
I predict we're gonna have a text fight over this.
No, think Twilight Zone.
Think Twilight
I think
Zone,
it'll
but
work for
that, dude, there's so much though. It could be anything.
the
Don't
type
just
of
think-
psychological horror that's involved with that.
Yeah.
Don't just think Twilight Zone. Think like Philip K. Dick, another example, or
we
a
don't know
fourth
him.
example
we don't
even.
know him.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
So
look 'em up.
Man in
All
the
right,
High
so here we go.
Castle.
nope.
Other
No,
things.
nothing.
Hey man, this is why we do our reading.
Yeah. Okay. So we will learn all about this,
All right.
and you will too in our next time. So
All right.
set sail for later adventures.
Yeah, and eat lots of cursed fruit because it prevents scurvy.
Shiver your timbers.